Last year, a staggering 95 million doses of fentanyl were seized from this property in northern Okanagan. The RCMP called it the largest and most sophisticated drug lab in the country. Even the U.S. DEA flagged it in its 2025 National Drug Threat Assessment.
Our own Canadian intelligence service reports indicate that there has been a rise in the number of organizations that are producing fentanyl and synthetic opioids, particularly in Ontario and British Columbia.
Public safety critic Eleanor Sturcos says the BC NDP government continues to downplay concerns from U.S. officials as trade war rhetoric. Sturcos highlights comments made by the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, on the Joe Rogan podcast last week.
But, instead of going right up the southern border and into America, you know what they're doing? They're flying it into Vancouver. They're taking the precursors up to Canada, manufacturing it up there, and doing their global distribution routes from up there because we were being so effective down south.
In response to Patel's comments, BC Public Safety Minister Gary Begg said less than 1% of the fentanyl in the U.S. comes from here, and that it was just another attempt to justify President Trump's tariffs. But the mayor of Port Coquitlam disagrees.
We have been, an easy place to do business.
In 2023, West received a letter from U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken after they met at a conference in Colorado. He confirmed that U.S. officials view BC and Canada as a hotspot for drug trafficking and organized crime.
In the United States, they have a RICO law, and they have used RICO laws and racketeering charges to go after a lot of the transnational criminal organizations, and no such law exists in Canada.
The federal government has appointed a fentanyl czar, but Sturcos is calling on the BC NDP to create a task force to address fentanyl trafficking, transnational crime, and drug production in BC.
We need a government that is first and foremost going to come out strong on these issues, acknowledging that they exist as dangers to our province, and then coming up with a real plan.
Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Vancouver.